on your seat because we need to pause the entire internet for a second. Look at that title, the setup involving Bimbo Ademoye and Timini Egbuson. And look at that emoji. Oh, that is the exact face everyone made when the pieces of this puzzle finally started falling into place. For the longest time, we have been viewing the relationship between Bimbo and Timini through a very specific lens. We thought it was either a sweet real-life romance or just standard on-screen chemistry. We called them teaming, we watched their movies, we analyzed their social media comments, and we clapped for them. But what if I told you we have all been looking at the wrong map? What if the cozy clip, the viral TikTok and the constant media speculation weren't just random events? What if there was a masterful engineered setup running behind the scenes this whole time? We are talking about a coordinated effort by directors, producers and the actors themselves to orchestrate the ultimate public fascination. Today we are tearing down the facade. We are breaking down the timeline of this setup. We are pulling the string and exactly how the audience was manipulated from day one. To truly understand the depth of this setup, we have to look at how modern Nollywood operates. Gone are the days when we just drop a movie trailers and hope people show up for the cinema or clickstream. The game has evolved. Today, you set up the audience before you even show them the project. Think about how the pattern worked with Timini and Bimbo. Months before a movie like Mr. and Mrs. Chaotic or their other 2026 romantic hits drop, a random unedited behind-the-scenes video magically leaked onto TikTok. It's always slightly blurry, looking like it was taken by an unexpected crew member. In the video, Timini and Bimbo are looking a little too close, sharing a private laugh or a warm hug. The blog picked it up instantly. The comments catch fire. Fans begin to argue about whether they are secretly dating. By the time the actual movie is announced a few weeks later, the public is already emotionally primed. You aren't just watching a story about two fictional characters among anymore. You are watching a story to see if the real-life rumors are true. The setup is simple: manipulate the public's curiosity to guarantee a record-breaking numbers. But here is where the setup gets even more interesting. It requires two willing, incredibly smart participants. Timini Egbuson and Bimbo Ademoye are absolute a masterpiece of their crafts. They understand the power of their combined brand. Individually, they are box office gold. Together, they are an unstoppable cheat code. The entertainment industry realized this synergy earlier on. When they cast them together, you aren't just hiring two actors, you are buying into an established fandom. The setup extends into how their media rollouts are handled. Notice how their interview schedules are coordinated. Even when they are promoting separate solo projects, the interviewers are structurally promoted to ask about how the other person is faring. They play along beautifully. Timini will drop a cryptic protective comment about Bimbo, and Bimbo will playfully laugh it off while keeping the mystery alive. They keep the audience trapped in a loop of constant speculation. It is a beautiful orchestrated dance where the music never stops, and as long as the music is playing, the views keep rolling in. Now, why is this setup necessary? Because the competition for your attention in 2026 is fiercer than it has ever been. With streaming platforms saturated with content, a movie can easily get lost in the noise. The setup involving Bimbo and Timini serve a blueprint for the new age of Nollywood marketing. It proves that creating a narrative around the actors is just as important as the narrative inside the script. It builds a community of highly dedicated fans who feel like they are part of an exclusive club, decoding clues left behind their favorite stars. But it raises a massive question. How long can we run a setup like this before the audience experiences narrative fatigue? Whenever projects relies on the same real-world romantic teasing, the line between authentic human connection and calculated business begins to blur. Yet, despite the risk, you have to admire the execution. It is brilliant, it is effective, and it has kept them at the absolute peak of the industry conversation. At the end of the day, whether you call it a marketing setup, or a masterclass in PR, or a simple, genuine way to engage the fans. It has worked flawlessly. They have kept us watching, kept us debating, and most importantly, kept us thoroughly entertained. But now, I want to pass the microphone over to you guys. When you look at the timeline of how their viral moments drop right alongside their movie releases, do you think this setup is purely business, or do you think there is a genuine real-world emotion driving the narrative behind the scene? Let me know your absolute best theory in the comment section below. I will be reading through them and replying to as many as possible. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss out our next breakdown on what's really happening behind the Nollywood curtain. Until next time, stay sharp, keep watching closely, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.